Hello students, I am Assistant Professor Priyanka Kashir from Department of Chemistry, SHGM College, Kopargaon. Today we will discuss the topic manures in the chapter fertilizers and manures. Manures is any substance produced by animal or plant that is used as a fertilizer. It is just like the organic matter consisting of heterogeneous mass of organic compounds decompose quickly while other decompose slowly and finally change to humus. The application of manure supplies essential ions to the soil. Then manure is classified into two major groups. First one is organic manure and second one is inorganic manure. Let us move to organic manure. Organic manure is also called bulky manure. These are the materials of plant and animal origin. In this group, there are several types of manures, which are types of manure. First one is farmyard manure, FYM. It is prepared from cow dung, urine and sweeping of farm. Second one is farm compost. It is prepared from farm refuse, leaves, trash, sugarcane, patsat, etc. Next compost is town compost. It is prepared from town refuse. Then vermicompost. It is excreta of earthworms. Then sheep and goat droppings. Then poultry and poultry manure, dropping of poultry birds. It is prepared from dropping of poultry birds. Night soil decomposed of human excreta. Then green manure, green crop of snap hemp and dhancha is buried into soil by plowing the decompose. Then inorganic manure. These are the commercial chemical compounds are also called chemical fertilizers. They contain nutrient element in a large quantities and are therefore required in a small amounts by crop plant. They are grouped as follows. First one is nitrogenous, phosphatic, potassic and last one is complex fertilizer or mixed nutrients. Then effect of bulky organic manures on a soil. What are the effects are observed? First, these manure supply plant nutrient in a small quantities and organic matter in a large quantities. Second one is they improve physical and biological conditions of a soil. They also add micronutrients along with NPK, which are essential for plant growth in available form. They activate microorganisms by supplying energy. They improve buffering and exchange capabilities of soil. Next effect is they influence the solubility of soil minerals as well as mineral nutrient present in a soil. And last effect is they also form chelates which help in a plant nutrients. Let us move to farmyard manures. F, it is also called as FYM. Farmyard manure is a mixture of cattle dung, litter or bedding material portion of fodder not consumed by cattle and other domestic waste like ashes collected and dumped into pit or heap in the corner of backyard. It is allowed to rot and then applied to field. Because of the varied nature of material, its composition varies widely. Its average composition is 5% nitrogen, 2% P2O5 and 5% K2O. Factors affecting on FYM. The composition of FYM depends on following factors. First one is source of manure. Dung and urine voided by deferred animal varies in a quality and quantity. Urine of cattle and horses are approximately 2.5 times richer in nitrogen content than their dung. Sheep and goat dung is richer in P2O5. Pig's dung is richer in K2O. Then next factor is food of animal. Richer the food in proteins, richer is the manure in nitrogen. Then age and condition of animals. Manure obtained from the excreta of young animal is poor in nitrogen than the old animals. The dung of sick animal is richer than the healthy animals. Fourth one is function of animal. The dung of milch animal is poor in NPK than the dung of labor animals like bullock, horses, etc. Nature and proportion of litter is the next factor. Most common litter are wheat, paddy, straw, jawar, bajra and maize stalks. Sixth one is species of animal. The composition of nutrient varies with ruminant and non-ruminant animals. Handling and storage of manure. If drainage escapes from manure heap, potash is lost. Improper handling and storage leads to losses of plant nutrients. Then let us move to biogas plant. Many times in examination on the biogas plant, one question is asked. In India, about 30% of energy consumed by public is a biological in nature. Gobar gas plant is based on an aerobic fermentation of organic varieties in absence of air, increasing the heating efficiency of the cattle dung by about 20% and produced an organic manure which is about 43%, better than dry cattle dung itself. The manure can also reduce pressure on naphtha based fertilizer. Biogas is produced by degradation of biological matter by anaerobic bacteria in absence of free O2. Natural gas is also a biogas which results after a long time decay of animal and vegetable matter brought about by bacteria in presence of high temperature, high pressure and radioactive waste, etc. Cow dung, when subjected to the action of various kinds of microorganisms in a closed tank under aerobic condition, undergoes a type of fermentation. As a result, dung is converted into gobar gas, which is a mixture of methane, carbon dioxide, and minute quantities of other gases. In addition, a slurry rich in nitrogen is also obtained, which is used as manure for the fertility of agriculture land. The gas is highly flammable and very useful as a fuel and is used under the name of biogas or gobar gas. The biogas generator consists of steel digester dung and set underground by a cement concrete work. The tank is closed once receiving the charge of bacteria and the cow dung. The generator is connected to pipeline with the gas holder, which is made up of mild steel. The charge consists of cow dung and water is the form of slurry. The fermentation is carried out between 35 to 50 degrees Celsius. About 160 liter of gobar gas is produced per kg of cow dung, and the heating value of gas is 490 kilocalorie on 160 liter basis. The generated gas is collected in a steel gas holder placed on the top of digestion tank. The plant can digest not only the cattle dung but also cattle urine, human refuse, poultry sweep, etc. The average composition of biogas or gobar gas is: methane is 55%, hydrogen is 7.4%, carbon dioxide is 35%, and nitrogen is 2.6%, and water in a traces. The average gross calorific value is about 5,300 kilocalorie per cubic meter. The gas can be carried to distinct places through pipeline. This gas can be used for heating, lighting, and motive power. The burner and lamp required by it are of different types. It can also be used for running engines and generators by attaching special attachment to the plant. The manure which is obtained from the plant after decomposition is the best and cheap source of replacement of chemical fertilizers. Then there are the limitations of biogas plant. First limitation is its production depends on the availability of cattle dung, and second one is gas lamp or burners to be used should be within 10 minutes of the plant. Then let us move to green manuring. It is also important point in that chapter. What is mean by green manuring? It is mainly used for paddy, irrigated wheat, and sugarcane crop. It is of different types depending on the soil and the climatic conditions. Green manuring in situ, green leaf manuring. There are two different types. Then characteristics of good green manuring. First one is it should yield a large quantity of green material within a short period. It should suppress weeds, should be succulent and have more leafy growth. Third characteristic is it should preferably be legume which fixes atmospheric nitrogen. Then it should have deep fibrous root system so as to absorb nutrient from lower zone to bring them to surface soil to improve the soil structure. Then fifth one is it should contain large quantity of non-fibrous tissues of rapid decomposability containing some percentage of moisture and nitrogen. And last characteristic is it should have little water requirements for its own grow and should be capable of making a good stand on poor and exhausted soil. Then advantages of green manuring. If there is advantages, then there is the disadvantages also be there. Green manure, there are the advantages. It stimulates the activity of soil microorganisms. It adds organic matter to the soil, improves the source structure of soil. It improves fertility of soil. It increases nutrient content in the soil. It holds plant nutrients that would otherwise be lost by leaching. It facilitates the penetration of rainwater, thus increasing runoff and soil erosion. The green manure crop nutrients taken by the crop from deep layers and returns to the upper topsoil. It increases the availability of certain plant nutrients like phosphorus, calcium, potassium, magnesium, and iron. Then the disadvantages of green manure. In case of deficient of source, scarce rainfall, Proper decomposition and satisfactory germination of succeeding crop does not take place. It is suitable only for the regions with good irrigation facilities. This manure is more expensive than the commercial fertilizer. There is a possibility of increase of diseases, insect and nematodes. Then the biofertilizers. What is mean by biofertilizer? The definition of biofertilizer is a substance that contains living microorganisms which when applied to seed, plant or soil colonizes the rhizosphere or the interior of the plant and promotes growth by increasing the supply or availability of primary nutrients, that is the NPK, to the host plant. Biofertilizers add nutrients through the natural processes of fixing atmospheric nitrogen, solubilizing phosphorus and stimulating plant growth through the synthesis and stimulating substances. Then the classification of biofertilizers depend on their nature and the functions. Then the first class is first function is the nitrogen fixing biofertilizers. If the nitrogen fixing biofertilizer, then there are three groups are follows: free living, symbiotic and associative symbiotic. Examples: Azotobacter, Nostoc, Rhizobium, Frankia, Azospirillum. Then the phosphorus solubilizing biofertilizers. Then there are two groups: bacteria and fungi. And examples are Bacillus, Magnetarium, Phosphaticum, Penicillium, sp, Aspergillus and Ave mori. Then phosphorus mobilizing biofertilizers. There are three groups: arbuscular mycorrhiza, actomycorrhiza, orchid mycorrhiza, and examples are Glomus sp, Gigaspora, Achelospora, Laccaria, Amanita, Rhizocotia, Soliani, etc. Biofertilizers for micronutrients. Then the silicate and zinc solubilizers. Example is the Bacillus. Then plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. Pseudomonas is the group and Pseudomonas fluorescens is the example. Then biofertilizers. There are different types of biofertilizers and roles. First type is rhizobium. This belongs to bacterial group and the classical example is a symbiotic nitrogen. It infects the legume root and form root nodules within which they reduce molecular nitrogen to ammonia, which is readily utilized by the plant to produce available proteins, vitamins and other nitrogen containing compounds. Then second one is azotobacter. It is the important and well-known free-living nitrogen-fixing aerobic bacterium. It is used as a biofertilizer for all non-leguminous plants, especially rice, cotton, and vegetables. Then Azospirillum, it belongs to bacteria and is known to fix the considerable quantity of nitrogen in the range of 20 to 40 kilogram in the rhizosphere in a non-leguminous plants such as cereals, millets, oilseeds, cottons, etc. It stimulates growth and imparts green color, which is characteristics of healthy plants. Then next one is azolla. It is a free floating water form that floats in a water and fixes atmospheric nitrogen in association with nitrogen fixing blue-green alga Anabenezolia. It is considered to be potential biofertilizer in terms of nitrogen contribution to rice. Then acetobacter, it is a saccharophilic bacteria and associated with sugarcane, sweet potato and sweet sorghum plant and fixes 30 kilogram Newton per ha year. It is commercialized for sugarcane crop. It is known to increase yield by 20 and sugar by about 10 to 50%. Then the comparison between the biofertilizers and chemical fertilizers. Biofertilizers are the non-toxic, provide more nitrogen and ensure ecological stability to the soil. And the chemical fertilizer is the toxic and pollute the water and disturb the ecological balance. They are comparatively cheaper. Biofertilizers are the cheaper and chemical fertilizers are more costly and even increasing prices of petroleum products. Then biofertilizers being priced low within the reach of the poor farmers and the chemical fertilizers low purchasing power of small farmers. A concrete tank is sufficient for the biofertilizer production and chemical fertilizer production requires the setting of big plant involving huge investment. Biofertilizers have the capacity to hold water, example blue-green algae, and chemical fertilizers do not hold the water. Then there are advantages of biofertilizers. Longer shelf life, 12 to 24 months, no contamination, no loss of properties due to storage up to 45 degrees Celsius, greater potentials to fight with native population, easy identification by typical fermented smell, better survival by typical fermented small, very much easy to use by the farmer. And the biofertilizers are still not popular due to lack of proper education to the farmers, lack of proper marketing and distribution channels, lack of quality of guarantee product. It seems that day is not far off when biofertilizers will replace the chemical fertilizers for an era of prosperity and clean environment. Thank you for watching my video.